I just wanted to go over the optional side quests and bosses that you can do throughout the campaign that are going to give you permanent skill boosts. If we look up here on the left side of our map, there is a map legend that will show you. This icon here means there's a boss encounter with an upgrade. It's a little skull with a yellow plus next to it. The map legend does not show it, but there will also be icons like this that have a small plus next to them, and that also means that they will give your character a permanent skill buff or a permanent boost in some way. So I'm going to go through the campaign, each act, and each difficulty, and show you all of the possible buffs that you can get. In Act 1 Normal, there are going to be 5 things that we want to make sure we get. The first one's going to be in Clearfell. Killing the boss Beera of the Rotten Pack is going to give you plus 10% to cold resistance. The second one is going to be another boss. That's the Crowbell in the Hunting Grounds. That's going to give you 2 weapon set passive skill points. The third thing that you're going to want to get, and very, very important, is going to be killing the King in the Mist in the Freythorn area. This is going to give you your first uncut spirit gem, as well as plus 30 to spirit. The fourth thing that you're going to want to get is this optional side quest, Una's Hut, where you have to find her loot. It's going to give you 2 weapon set passive skill points, and there's going to be one more in Act 1 Normal. You guys may not be seeing that, and that's because we need to press this button over here that's going to toggle between above and below ground. Once we toggle to below ground, we can see that there's another boss icon with a little plus here. That's going to be Candlemass the Living Rite, and that'll give you plus 20 to maximum life. As you can see, these are grayed out. That does mean that we have completed them, and if you see this icon is kind of still lit up, that means that I did not do this side boss while doing the campaign. In Act 2, there's going to be 4 optional encounters that you can do that'll give you permanent skill buffs. The first one is going to be Kabbalah, the Constrictor Queen in Keth. It'll give you 2 weapon set passive skill points. The next one is going to be in the Valley of the Titans. You'll find 2 different relics in different zones while progressing through the Act 2 campaign. I can't show you here on the map, but we are in the Valley of the Titans right now. And when you take the waypoint, you'll be at this little altar thing. And when you click on the altar, it'll have slots for you to put your relics in, and you can select which relic you want. You either get 30% increased charm charges gained or 15% increased mana recovery from flasks. The third optional side quest that you can do is find the final letter from Dashar. That's going to give you another 2 weapon set passive skill points. And last but not least, this one, since it's grayed out because I've already done it, it's a bit easier to see, but this one is very difficult to see when it's gold and yellow. It kind of blends in and camouflages with that background. Anyways, there's the Sisters of Garokon on the Spires of Dashar, and killing them is going to grant your character a permanent plus 10% to lightning resistance. Alright, now we're on Act 3 and Act 6. There are going to be 5 optional side quests and buffs for your character to get. The first one is going to be in the Jungle Ruins. We have the optional boss, the Mighty Silverfist. This is the big gorilla that does the slam and can one-shot you. He has 2 weapon set passive skill points for you. The next one is going to be really big, really important. Don't make the mistake I did and get it to the end game of maps and not have done this in your Act 6 cruel progression. So from the Infested Barrens, we're going to go to the Azak Bog, and we want to find Ignaduk, the Bog Witch. Killing her is going to give you plus 30 spirit the first time you do it in Act 3, and then it's going to give you plus 40 spirit when you do it in Act 6 or Act 3 the second time through in Cruel. It's also going to give you an uncut spirit gem each time that you do it. So make sure you don't miss out on this very, very big buff to your character. The third option that you have is the Venom Crypt. You're going to do the Venom Drought quest. This will give you a couple of different options that you can do. I ended up selecting 30% increased elemental ailment threshold. The other options you have are 25% increased stun threshold or 25% increased mana regeneration rate. If you are in Cruel, the options are going to be different. When you do Act 6 for this, you're either going to get plus 10% chaos resistance, plus 5 to all attributes, or plus 15% reduced slowing potency of your debuffs. Alright, for the fourth one, we're going to have to toggle between above or below ground again, and in this area, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. We can see that we have the boss encounter for Blackjaw the Remnant, and this is going to give your character a permanent plus 10% to fire resistance in Act 3. The final one in Act 3 Normal can be a bit tricky to check on or to go back and do if you've already completed Act 3. If you haven't already completed Act 3, spoiler alert, it will be when you go back in time in the Agarot zone. You will find a green item that is a sacrificial heart, and eventually you will find a altar that you can sacrifice this at, and it'll give you 2 additional skill points. However, if you've already completed Act 3 and you're in Cruel and you're trying to go back and figure out if you've done it, what you need to do is from the Ziggurat encampment, go through the gateway. This will take you to Cruel. Then you'll make a portal. Take your portal. From there, you can open your map and see if you've completed the Blood Sacrifice side quest. If it's grayed out, again, as we stated before, that does mean that you've completed it. If you've not completed it, you won't be able to use the waypoint over here. You'll have to run all the way down and go enter the Drowned City, and then you can use the waypoint from there. Do a little run and give you guys a quick peek of how that is. Now we are in the Drowned City. If I open my waypoint, now from the Drowned City, if we take the waypoint to the Ziggurat encampment, that will take us to the correct timeline of the Ziggurat encampment. And I believe from here, we should be able to use the waypoint. And from that waypoint, there we go. We're on the other side of the portal. Now, once we're in, we'll click on the waypoint. And now we can go to the Yagharat. And if you hadn't completed the quest, you can go back and do it. Alrighty, thank you all for watching. I hope you all found that helpful. If you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more similar content in the future. I also stream daily over on Twitch at twitch.tv/lazyrix or Lazarix. There'll be a link in the description below. Thank you again.